I always think it's interesting just how many people want to start YouTube channels because I did everything I could think of to avoid it. I've always had so much I want to share, and I love the idea of having a space where I can teach or share some of the ideas bouncing around in my head. But as a person who is an introvert, a highly sensitive person, and a technology resistant person, I did not think that YouTube and I would be a good match. While I do consider myself friendly and mostly able to hold a conversation, I am the person at the party over in the corner looking at the bookshelf. If I ever went to a party. I've preferred a quiet night at home since for forever. And I'd much rather a low-key hangout with one person instead of a room full of noise and voices. I take people's words and energies on. I feel the highs and I feel the lows. And to open myself up to a platform where anyone could watch and anyone could say anything sounded downright terrifying. But I still had things I wanted to share, things that were close to my heart. So I started with a blog, way past the days when blogs were the it thing. And I loved it. I still do. But I also realized what a small, lonely space it was, for mine anyway. So I finally caved one year and got a Patreon account early on in Patreon's journey, thinking that was a nice safe space to share my videos with an audience who wanted to be there so I wouldn't feel too exposed. And that would have been great if I had any sort of audience at all. But unlike here on YouTube, where there's at least a glimmer of hope I could find an audience, that is just not how Patreon is set up. And on my quest continued. I don't really do the social media, but I tried starting a podcast and I tried posting on a lesser watched video platform. I even thought about writing a book instead. But finally, about 4 years ago, I caved. I started my first YouTube channel, but in a very guarded way. I turned off all comments. I did not show my face at first. I definitely did not put my face on thumbnails. I recorded in quick spurts when my husband and kids went for an outing because as loving and supportive as they are, there was no way I was telling anybody that I was doing this. I went through phases of posting, sometimes going months between sporadic videos. I told myself it really didn't matter that I didn't have much of an audience because I was just here for me. But sometime this past year, after starting another channel, I finally realized that frustration was building up. Because the truth was, of course I want people to watch my videos. It was like this weird game of hide and seek. I was so scared at the thought of being seen while also complaining that nobody was watching. I finally clicked on some of the YouTube advice channels and decided to really try. It wasn't that I wasn't working at this before, pouring so much energy and thought into what I was doing, but I also knew that if I wasn't really fully trying, posting consistently, listening to YouTube advice, all of that, then I couldn't really fail, right? Not really putting my all into it had been a way to protect my feelings. But with trying and listening and learning, I quickly gained a new understanding of this platform. I finally understood that the community I was craving to connect with about the topics I care so much about, the topics I was talking about on my channels, well, this was exactly the place to find that. If I would just stop blocking them at every turn. So I did a very brave thing. I opened up comments. And after a couple of months, because I could only handle so much at once, I finally put my own face on my thumbnails. I stuck to a more predictable schedule, sort of. I'm still getting there. I understood that the videos I'm making here are for my audience just as much as they are for me. I told my family what I'm doing. Well, my immediate little family, and we were finally able to invest in getting a microphone, which I'm still not sure if I know how to use. I'd love to say that when I did all of this, the doors of YouTube success finally opened wide for me and my channels lived happily ever after. But that is not what happened. Yet. One of my channels did start to grow. My older channel grew in a way it never had before, and that was something to celebrate. Still, it was tough to balance that with the YouTube reality that 100 subscribers really isn't that big of a number here. And somewhere, even amidst all of that, or maybe to avoid thinking about all of that, I started this channel. And it's still a very strange thing, even in my hidden corners of YouTube, to post videos and simultaneously desperately want people to see them and hopefully benefit from them or even enjoy them, while also finding the thought of anybody actually watching sort of terrifying. Just another one of YouTube's contradictions to hold on to. So while I may never want the spotlight of millions of subscribers, not that that's really in the cards anyway, I guess I'm willing to consider at least maybe stepping out of the corner.